7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Are you ready? That's the Chicago way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of What's Up, Cuz. I am your host, Jason Palmer, and my co-host, who's usually here, Lancey Irvin, will not be here tonight as he's got some responsibilities at CPS that he is taking care of. So I'm here to take you on an abbreviated edition of What's Up, Cuz. Our producer, Sean Sierra, will be joining us in a few minutes because we've got a lot to talk about your Chicago Bears. we all know we've got to talk about the Chicago Bears. That is the hot topic on a Monday here in Chicago. And, I think we're going to hire a psychologist for this show because we got to make it through this Bears season. I know a lot of you all are going to need some help and some mental health coping skills to deal with this situation and this team. So just bear with me. We will definitely talk to the Chicago Bears. We will also talk the Chicago Sky as their season unfortunately came into an end. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And just, some more things going on in the world of sports. Coach Prime at the University of Colorado. Oh my goodness. Now everybody's a Buffalo fan all of a sudden. 6 months ago, people were irate on this show. How could he leave Jackson State? Now these same people are like, let's go Colorado. So we're going to talk about Coach Prime and his early success that he is having out there in Boulder, Colorado. So if you're tuning into What's Up, Cuz for the first time, welcome, my friends. Welcome to What's Up, Cuz. If you are watching us on the Sports Zone Chicago YouTube channel, you can go ahead and like and subscribe to that channel. That'll give you access to not just What's Up, Cuz, but all the wonderful shows we have here on Sports Zone Chicago. If you are tuning in on the Sports Zone Chicago Roku channel, we appreciate you for tuning in there. If you have not added us to your Roku, what are you waiting for, people? What are you waiting for? Go ahead and add the Sports Zone Chicago. Now on Roku, please add us to your other channels that you have on your Roku device at home. And if you are checking us out on the Sports Zone Chicago app, we appreciate you checking us out on the app. Take us with you where you go. If you miss a show, you can always check it out at a later time. So download that app today. It'll give you access to our live shows and all of our past shows. So be sure to check that out. Check out our daily sports blog. We constantly have stories that we put on there as well. Just go ahead and get the app, put it on your phone. I know we got a lot of apps on the phone. I know. We're worth it. We're worth it, for real. Just go ahead and put that app on the phone. We work putting it on your phone so that you can keep up with us. So we appreciate you for checking us out on the app as well. And get social. Go ahead and get social with Sports Zone Chicago as well. We've got a Twitter page. We got a Facebook and IG page of Sports Zone Chicago. That will keep you abreast of everything that we have going on here at Sports Zone Chicago, because we are constantly updating our content. We're providing you all with great guests. And just check us out. Stay in tune with us. We'll stay in tune with you. We're ready to start tonight's show. And in order to do that, I've got some breaking news that I need to discuss with everyone. And it is sad news, but some breaking news that is breaking here in the Chicago area that we have gotten some wind to literally 10 minutes before we came on the air tonight. Some sad news here out of the Chicago area. Former NFL player Sergio Brown, who played for the Patriots, the Colts, the Falcons, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and another team, he is currently missing. He is currently missing Police here in Maywood, Illinois. For those of you not familiar with Chicago, Maywood is a west suburban village right against the Chicago border. Police in Maywood are searching for Sergio Brown, who has been missing since Saturday. Unfortunately, Sergio's mother, Myrtle Brown, was found murdered in a creek um, behind her home. Her body was also discovered on Saturday, and they have not been able to find Sergio either. Police at this time are saying that Sergio is an endangered person. They are concerned about his safety, and they have issued a press release asking for information from the public. If you see Sergio, please contact them and let them know so that they can respond to him. They are very concerned about him. Sergio last played in the NFL in the year 2016. That was his last year. But Sergio Brown is 6'2". He weighs 210 pounds. Police in Maywood are asking anyone with information about Sergio, or if you see Sergio, to call them. It can be done anonymously. The number to call is area code 708 450 1787. Again, that is area code 708 450 1787. So police here in Maywood currently looking for former NFL player Sergio Brown. And this one is kind of hitting us close to home because a good friend of our program and all of our programs here on Sports Zone Chicago, Ozzie Guillen Jr., who often comes on and talks baseball with us, or he'll talk it with Sean. Everyone knows the Guillen family here in the Chicago area. Ozzie Guillen Jr. is close friends with Sergio Brown. And he did not know that Sergio was in fact missing until he read the article on my website, jcoydenreports.com, that I posted probably about an hour ago. And Ozzy reached out to me and said, yo, is this a real story? I'm like, well, yeah, of course. Ozzy's on my website. He was like, no, dude. Like, I know this kid. Like, know him. My whole family knows him. My father knows him. My brother knows him. He was like, I need to get as much information about this as possible. And Ozzy sent us a photo. He actually sent us a photo of him and Sergio Brown, along with some of their other friends as well. We're going to post that picture as well, just to kind of give you another look at Sergio Brown, who is missing. That is Sergio. He is the person all the way in the back, the tallest person there. And what Ozzy told me is that they lost a friend about a year ago. A friend of theirs died. The friend is pictured in that first photo that Sean had up. Diego, who is the African American gentleman down there in the front, he died about a year ago. And Ozzy says that it hit all of them hard, but it really seemed to hit Sergio differently. Ozzy is concerned about his friend's mental health status, which is why he reached out to me. I believe he is going to reach out to the Maywood Police Department himself as well to see if there's any help that he can provide. And as a person who works these missing person cases, as a journalist, I can tell you, man, the police need all the help they can get. Any piece of information you can give them about that person's personalities, that person's habits, places they like to hang out, all that type of stuff helps the police when they're actively searching for a person. So if you know Sergio Brown, or you know somebody who knows him, have them reach out to the Maywood Police Department, because you never know what type of clue or information it is that breaks a case wide open and really helps them out. So if you're out there, if you see Sergio, or if you know Sergio, contact the police. His family members are really worried about him. They're not only dealing with the death of his mother, Myrtle Brown, but they're also concerned about Sergio. So I spoke with his brother, a little while ago, and he too is concerned, and says, I just want my brother to come home, and let him know that he is loved. And that was the message he wanted me to convey to all of you tonight, is that Sergio is loved, and that people are really scared right now and concerned about his health and well-being. And if he's not has not been taken by someone, they want Sergio to return home. Just return home, Sergio, if you're out there listening. So Sergio played his high school football at Proviso East out there in Maywood. He then played for the University of Notre Dame in South Bend, and then he was signed as an undrafted free agent by the New England Patriots. Again, he played for the Colts, the Jaguars, the Falcons. So he bounced around the NFL for a while, but he does have some NFL experience. So very sad news, but hopefully we will find Sergio safely. And once again, our condolences from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago to the Brown family on the death of Myrtle Brown. All right, let's move on to some sports topics that we will discuss here in this abbreviated edition of What's Up, cuz our Chicago Sky, they tried, y'all, but we knew it was going to be an uphill battle when we talked with Andy Constable last week, just following the Sky this season. And they had a lot of adversity that this team had to overcome, losing their coach, having a large turnover on the roster itself. Our Chicago Sky lose yesterday to the defending champion Las Vegas Aces, and the Aces win both games in the 2 out of 3 series. They win the first 2 and sweep the series, and they now advance to the next round. The Chicago Sky have already arrived back home. The players did their exit interviews today, and a tidbit of information from our good friend Andy Constable, who was here on last week's show. Kalia Copper will be back. We know she signed the extension, and Copper tells Andy Constable that the Sky will have 2 separate positions next year for the general manager and the head coach. This is big for this franchise. A lot of WNBA franchises have done the combo thing where the coach is also the general manager, but as the league grows and brings in more money for the teams, they can now open up these new positions. Yeah, I agree with you, Armando, with what the Sky went through. They can stand with their heads held high. I agree 100%. And they are going to have 2 different positions next year on that team. So we already knew they were in need of a head coach. No word on if the interim will remain as the head coach or if they're going to go outside. We've heard rumors of both. We will see how that plays out. But this news that they're going to also have a general manager who is separate from head coaching duties, that tells me that, I shouldn't say that because these are Chicago teams, but I would assume they're going to hire the general manager first, and then they will allow the general manager to hire the head coach. Now, that is how it should work, but this is Chicago. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff in sports, but that is how this should work, that they will hire a general manager, and then the general manager will then make the decision on who will be the next head coach of the Chicago Sky, and then the head coach will be able to round out their staff of assistant coaches, or they can keep the current staff members, which is usually not how it goes, but you never really know how that is. So we shall see. But the Chicago Sky, hey, man, they had a great season, man. To go through everything that they went through, incredible. I did not have this team pegged for making the playoffs in light of all of the things that were happening. The roster turnover, the coach leaving in the middle of the season. It just wasn't really a fluid season. But they made it happen. They've got some new ownership as well. Dwayne Wade is also now one of the owners of the Chicago Sky. He's one of the minority owners. minority in terms of share, not in terms of race, but well, actually, I guess he does cover both, but a minority owner in terms of share. But Dwayne's gonna have some input. So you're gonna have some people in that ownership group who's going to help this franchise, and that's a really good thing. The Sky still had really good attendance this year. That move to Wintrust Arena that they made a few years ago has really helped the local profile of the team. It's made the team more accessible to different communities within the city of Chicago. It's located in a more central area of the city as well, so more people can get out there. So just really good things, I think, on the horizon for the Chicago Sky. They've got some decisions to make in terms of their roster, but they fall to the Las Vegas Aces in 2. All right, let's move forward to the topic that everybody is discussing because it's Monday. And it's a Monday after a Bears loss, which is never a positive thing in Chicago. I don't care what the Bears record is. Monday mornings when the Bears lose is like, it's like a funeral. That's pretty much the best way I can describe it. It's like a funeral in Chicago. People are disgruntled. People are cutting people off in traffic more than they usually cut people off in traffic. And this is not a good day Monday mornings after the Bears lose. And when do they lose the way they do? Oh my goodness, it just makes things worse. We're all people are emotional, people are in panic mode, people are mad, they're frustrated. A few people are logical. It just gets kind of all over the place when the Bears lose and the way they lose. But the Bears fall yesterday down in Florida to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it wasn't a pretty loss. It wasn't an inspiring loss. It wasn't a lot you could take away from it and say, okay, well, we did this right. A couple corrections here. We can do this. It was not pretty. And they were still in the game till late in the game. And then there was some questionable play calling, and that was that. So they fall 27-17 to the Buccaneers. The Bears are now 0-2 to start the season. And next week, it doesn't get any better because you got to go play Kansas City in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes, who's got most of his weapons back now, against one of the best coaches in the NFL. And there's also a Matt Nagy factor. Yes, former Bears coach Matt Nagy, who's also a staff member of the Kansas City Chiefs, think he got axed to grind. So, the Bears ain't getting no breaks here. Now, that said, they can go down there and upset Kansas City. I mean, Kansas City hadn't looked like Kansas City yet. They did win yesterday, and they lost the first week to the Lions. But, if you're going to catch them, you got to catch them early, because once Mahomes start rolling, once they get that system going, you're going to be in trouble trying to beat them. But the Bears go to Kansas City next week to take on the Chiefs. But to help me break down what happens in yesterday's most recent debacle is our producer and credentialed Chicago Bear reporter, Sean the Superback Sierra. Producer Sean, what's up, man? How you doing?
Jason, what's going on, buddy? How we doing?
I'm doing good. Personally, let me ask you personally, how are you doing, Sean? I know you are just like many Chicagoans. You take these Bears losses very hard. And when it's done the way they did it, I need to get your blood pressure checked. What was your pressure this morning when you went to do your workout,
Sean? Thank goodness for CrossFit. Okay. I was definitely able to vent my frustration because it was high. It was very, very high. And, I'm okay. It's just frustrating that, we keep getting incompetent coaching, because here's the thing that bugs me. Many offensive coordinators like to be the smartest guy in the room. We just fired one a couple years ago. Now it looks like we have another one. Okay. It was frustrating not to maximize Justin Fields' strengths. And before anyone says anything, Justin Fields needs to play better. Period. End of story. He's got to hit open receivers. He's got to get out of the pocket. He has to play much better. Okay. I'm not absolving him from anything. Okay. But the play calling that you called 2 screens back to back on that pick in the fourth quarter when you're trying to go down, you're down your shadow of your goal line. You call a screen. It was it gained a little bit. It was a holding call, so now you're inside the 10 or so. Then you call the same screen again. Again.
It's like they wanted to huddle like back in the day and just said SOS, man.
Yeah. And so, it wasn't a great play. Here's what happened. It was a perfect call. Perfect call at the perfect time. If you watch the play, it was an TE stunt, which means the tackle comes first, he goes outside, and the outside linebacker comes in. So the outside linebacker has to wait until the tackle crosses him. So as the tackle crosses him and he's coming around the edge back inside, he sees the offensive lineman leaving for the screen, and they had only run like 12 screens that day. So he was familiar with what they look. So he saw that, he was able to back up. Beautiful one-handed catch. The fact that you're not maximizing Justin Fields' ability is bothersome. Very bothersome. All right. I think they're coaching the Justin Fields out of Justin Fields. Mm-hmm. Okay. This guy was one of the most electric players in the NFL last year. And I'm not saying that I want them to have him run all the time, but you need to have him run. Why are you taking that weapon out of your arsenal? Okay. You need more design runs. You could have quarterback powers, get offensive linemen in there, get tight ends in there, and like counters, different things you can do with him. The one thing that they're not doing is they're not running the ball. And that bothers the hell out of me because of the fact that if you run the ball, first of all, you're not running the ball. Secondly, when you do run the ball, you're not running outside zone. Remember we talked about the outside zone running scheme, the blocking scheme, the zone outside blocking scheme. They're not running those types of running plays. So you're not running the ball. And when you do, you're not running the outside zone that you've talked about so much. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? So you have we had 3 good running backs, although Deontay Foreman was hurt. You had guys who were average 3 and 5 and 8 yards a carry. Khalil Herbert had 5 yards a carry, and Roshan Johnson had 8 yards a carry. Why stop running the ball? I have no idea. The more you run the ball, the more they're going to have to respect it. That makes things easier for Justin. Why Luke Getsy is not making it easy for him, I have no idea. And that boggles my mind.
It's not just that. It's not just that they're not putting him in the best position to be successful. It's that at this point, we're kind of lacking some accountability, if you ask me. I don't think, and that's why I asked the question last week when we had our guest Herb Howard on. I asked him, how often do you all get to talk to the coordinators? And Herb said, well, we get to talk to them like on Thursday.
Every Thursday
we'll get to kind of talk to them. And the beef right now the Bears fans have is with the offensive coordinator. So
yes.
The fact that we now have to wait until Thursday to get some sort of answer from him in terms of just what the actual philosophy is on some of the stuff that he is doing is just more frustrating for Bears fans. Because it gives him 4 days to basically get with a public relations person if he wants to and say, how should I answer these questions? How should I answer these questions? Because he knows they're coming because everybody's just deluded. It's just a deluge of questions that's coming out the day after the game, and you hear the talk shows. So it's really disappointing that we're not going to get until Thursday to even hear from him, to hear what the heck is the philosophy? What are we doing? Now, you had Eric Kramer, former Bears quarterback Eric Kramer, on your show. And just so everybody knows, Eric Kramer is a standard guest on Sean and Maya in the morning during the Bears football season. He comes on every Monday morning at 10 o'clock a.m., but you should be tuning in to Sean anyway. He starts at 9, but if you can't get there at 9, get there at 10 and hear what Eric Kramer has to say. I heard a lot of your show today. I heard some of the stuff what Kramer said today about Justin Fields and just the Bears in general. What did you take away the most from what Eric said this morning on your show?
It sounded similar to what I was saying. Well, he's not being held accountable. And so because he's not, he talked about everything from his base to his drop back to his inability to read defenses. And first and foremost, he's lackadaisical with his drop back. All right. You saw Tua, your guy, he gets the ball, even if he's in a shotgun, his 3-step drop is quick. It's boom, boom, boom. It's timing. 1, 2, 3, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw. Justin gets it, kind of saunters back, and the timing is off because of that. He's having problems understanding defenses because you know your routes, you know what your receivers are running. So you have to understand when your receivers are running, you know which ones are going to be open in a cover 2, which ones are going to be most likely to be open in a cover 2, which ones are most likely going to be open in a cover 3, which ones are most likely going to be open in man. And so knowing your routes and being able to decipher what coverage it is pre-snap and post-snap, because they'll disguise it a lot, of course. Once you understand what coverage they're running, you have a good idea of who's going to be open. It seems like he's having an issue with that. And with him, he's going first read, second read, third read, check down. First read, second read, check down. What happened to first read, second read, run? To me, that's the most important thing, because if they can get that down, now you have to have spies. If you have a spy on Justin Fields, guess what? You don't have it. You have to bring an 8th man in the box. That opens up a lot of windows behind that second level. A lot of windows that Justin Fields can exploit. So he was talking about his inability to read defenses, which is very confusing to me. He's done it before. He's read defenses before. He's done it the last 2 seasons, more so last year. And what his issue is and why he's holding the ball so long, I don't know. But that was the one thing that Eric said, like, he's got to stop holding the ball.
And let me follow up on that, Sean, because one of the things that we've complained about in the past, and I'm not saying they're the greatest in the world right now, but we kept saying he didn't get any time. He's not getting any time. His offensive line didn't get him any time. And that's been true in the past. But I'm just talking specifically about yesterday. He was getting 4 seconds in the pocket. And he still wasn't releasing the ball with 4 seconds in the pocket. So yesterday, we can't even use that line of thought. But I also heard something that I thought was very interesting, and no one else has talked about this. So this is kind of an original question. And I'm going to pose it to you as a former football coach and player and now working as a journalist. Could it be, because you are as good as what you practice and how you practice and your techniques? It's no secret that the Bears fail to get pressure on a quarterback, okay? If he's going up against his first team defense in practice, and those guys are not applying the pressure like he's going to see on Sunday, is it a possibility, Sean, that he's so used to having so much time in practice that when he gets in a game situation, the other team is coming 2 seconds faster in some situations, that he cannot process that because he's been so used to getting 5 and 6 seconds to throw the ball in practice?
I'm not buying that, because no quarterback in practice has that type of pressure ever, because of the amount of money that they make. So you come close to the quarterback, coach has a few choice words for you. If you literally, that's how it is. So no, I think that they're literally coaching the Justin Fields out of Justin Fields. They're telling him to stay in the pocket. They're telling him to make plays back there, and this is eerily similar to Mitch Trubisky in 2019. When Mitch had a good 2018, what did Nagy do? Now you got to win from the pocket. We saw plenty of times that Mitch Trubisky, just like Justin Fields has the last 2 games, had a chance to run. Okay, or should have just pulled it down, got the first down, live to fight another day, and go for it. Very eerily similar. And if you look at some of the expressions on Justin Fields' face after the game where they had him on the sideline, very similar to Mitch Trubisky back then. Two different regimes, but they're doing the same thing. And here's where I'm talking about. You're trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Justin Fields isn't going to have this speed his entire career. Why not use it now to your benefit?
Mm-hmm.
You're taking, as I said, a huge weapon out of your arsenal. So for me, I'm befuddled by it, and they're talking about, and for people who say, well, he can get hurt out there. You don't think he can get hurt keeping his ass in the pocket with shitty protection? You don't think he can get hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Vita Vea falling on him yesterday in one of his sacks.
Ooh, I saw that.
350-pound dude.
Yeah, I thought he broke his shoulder, man.
So did I. I was like, get up, Justin. And he got up. No, he just got kind of hurt. Man. So don't give me the nonsense. This tells me when people don't know football and they just want to argue. Well, he can get hurt running. He can get hurt in the pocket too if that line's not good.
Yeah.
So there's no moving the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
There are no look, Jason. I was fired up. These are my notes for this morning. These are for Getsy. These are for Fields. Stop holding the ball too long. Develop a clock in your head. Make 2 reads and run. Be sure to have better knowledge of open wide receivers post snap. Throw the ball out of bounds to avoid sack. That was for, and then all this stuff for Getsy. He's not running his wide zone. Screens, you're not evaluating Justin Fields. You got to evaluate him. And you keep throwing screens. Now moving the pocket. No slants. What happened to the slants to DJ Moore in the first practice?
Yeah.
Took it to the house at practice. Outran Eddie Jackson. Where are those?
I said that last week. I was like, where are the shallow drag routes?
Quick hitters.
Anybody who watched the Miami game last night, anybody watch my team, that's all we did.
Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yep.
I do not, and what was very perplexing to me, Sean, was that the first drive, they did pretty much everything that everyone's been asking.
Everything.
They went down the field and scored. So I was like,
first play, 33 yards to DJ Moore.
Right. I was like, okay. Obviously, they were listening to our show. They were listening to all the media, all the fans on Twitter who've been screaming out. They've been listening to it. I'm like, okay, we're okay today. And then they stopped doing that like I 3 quarters.
2.5 more quarters they stopped. Like, you forget about the opening drive? Forget about going deep? 6 catches for DJ Moore, 104 yards. It's a nice day at the office. Chase Claypool, he only had 36 yards, but had a nice 20-yard touchdown catch. A tough 20-yard touchdown catch. Those are the things you see. So when people talking about bench Justin, Tyson Bagent, like, you're an idiot. Just shut the hell up. You're stupid. All right? You see what he can do. When they talk about arm talent, that's arm talent. So for people who don't understand what arm talent is, that's arm talent. Look at that touchdown that he had to Chase Claypool. Is literally this far away from the defender, from the outstretched hand of the defender who crossed Claypool's face. Mm-hmm. And again, great job of holding on to it, because it's tough when somebody flashes in front of you and you're about to catch the ball because your eyes will blink. That's what happens most times. Great job. That's arm talent. Where was that the rest of the game?
I have no idea. It disappeared. And you know who else is asking that same question, Sean? DJ Moore. He wants to know why the hell they stopped throwing that ball.
DJ, imagine DJ had six catches. Put him at 10 catches. You know what that's going to put him at? Close to 200 yards.
Yeah.
10 catches would have put him at 200 yards, because this joker, I don't know how the hell he does it, dude. I don't know how the hell this dude does it. He wiggles free and ends up running. His yak is unbelievable. He's in a circle of 3 defenders, gives a little shimmy, and then outruns him to the sideline up the field for an extra 15 to 20 yards.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, Sean, if y'all don't want him,
no.
Miami. I mean, we can add another one to our little mix down there if you don't want him now. If you ain't gonna use him, we'll definitely incorporate him. I can put him with Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Oh yeah, yeah. What y'all want, man? We make this trade right now. Screw Ryan Poles. I was stunned that they went away from him after it was proven that it would work. I think that was the most disturbing part for me. That it was proven that it would work, and then I didn't hear from him. And then poor Darnell Mooney, I never heard his name in the game. Did he play? I heard he got injured, but I was like, how did he get injured? Because I never saw him play.
I didn't either. I didn't realize he got hurt until this morning. Because at the end of the game, I'm like, where's Darnell Mooney? Right. I asked that same question, and then I heard it this morning. They're saying, well, he was hurt, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize he played. You know, again, what they didn't do, they didn't air it out. All right, you got Tyler Scott. Send his ass on a go route. Send his ass on a post corner. All right, and just throw it. And if he's covered, and you see he's covered, no problem. You don't have much faith in him yet because he's a rookie. Cool. Just throw it over his head. Throw it in the first freaking row out of the back of the end zone. Yeah. Let those safeties understand that we're going to take it, that we still got it. We're going to go deep. So if we catch you sleeping, we catch you peeking in the backfield, we're going up over the top. That was not done game one. That was not done yesterday.
Yeah. Very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. Staying on the Bears, let's switch to something that is definitely a part of football, but the injuries on defense, man, and the secondary just completely decimated by injury. So I was thinking, I said, well, if Tampa Bay wins, they're probably going to blow the Bears out because the Bears are not going to be able to stop them. So we get ready for the game. The games get ready to start. I'm listening on the pregame. They like it's 93 degrees and the humidity is at 96%. And I was like, oh God, this is the last thing we really need to hear. Then, like the fourth play of the game, Brisker goes out. He's cramped up. They're putting ice on his neck, and I was like, oh Lord.
After he drops that pick six.
Yes. After he drops a pick six.
So do you understand? And this is where I get it. And hold your thought, Jay. Hold your thought. I don't want to cut you off and have you forget it. This is where coaching comes in. All right. This is where Matt Eberflus has to stop being kumbaya. Oh, he should have had it. You know, he's like, he needs to come forward and talk to Jaquan Brisker through the media and say Jaquan needs to have that. He cannot drop that pass because that's a game changer. It's probably a pick six. That's a game changer. You say that to the media, but you're really telling him to his face through the camera, through the media, that we can't have that. Think of how this ball game could go. Second play of the game, pick six. Bears up 7-0. They come back down. Tampa does. We get them to punt like we did. We go down and we score like we did in the first drive. Now we're up 14-0. That's a whole different story, Jay.
Yep. Changes the whole momentum.
Or they get a three. I'm sorry, they get a field goal. So 3. Still, we go down and we score. That's 14-3. That's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
Justin Fields has confidence. That offensive line has confidence. Those receivers have confidence. That defense has confidence. All that because of all that is negated because Jaquan Brisker didn't make that play.
And you're taking the crowd out of the game.
And you're activating the huge number of Bear fans that flew down to Tampa for the game. Man, I couldn't even tell. Like I heard early on, let's go Bears. Let's go Bears.
Yep. Spent their money to come down there. My boy Fred was down there with his wife. He's down there. He's like, yeah, man, we're down here. He loved the Bears. Telling people, man, you spending all this amount of money, hundreds of dollars, to go down there, and then you see this crap that they pulled. It's like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? So, these injuries. We were already out without. You're already without who? Gordon. He's out.
Right.
You lose Brisker. You're playing cornerbacks who I didn't even know who they were on the depth chart at a certain point. And the defense, for the most part, was kind of keeping you in the game, despite the heat, despite the humidity, despite half of them hurt. I was like, you know what? The defense isn't playing a bad game. You get a big a block on with the thing,
A field goal.
a field goal. The field goal. Your special teams is out there, playing their hearts out. You've got things going your way, and all of a sudden, you can't take advantage of it. I could not understand. I was like, you're igniting the fan bases there with that block kick, the block field goal. I was like, oh, okay, you're rolling now. It was the strangest loss because I don't think the score really indicates how bad the Bears play, and I also don't think it indicates how close they were to really winning the game had they just made a couple of damn plays.
I was wondering about the pressure on the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I was wondering about the turnovers.
Yeah.
Oh, the block kick. Why don't we go deep? Why didn't we go? We're almost in the red zone. Here's Chase Claypool's time. Here he's 6'4" with a 38-inch vertical. Come on now. All right. This is what I'm talking about. Attack. These coaches aren't living up to the HITS principles. How do you expect the players to live up to the HITS principles when the coaches don't adhere to the HITS principles? Okay. You have to attack. You have to, you're on the road. You have a great fan base. Your fans flew down there. I don't know, it was 50-50, but it might have been 70-30, 60-40 Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Instead of 85-90 Tampa, 10 Chicago. There was a huge contingency, a loud contingency there. Mm-hmm. Go for the big play. Go for the big play. And if not, okay, then we come back, boom, we'll get a first down in second and third, with second and third down coming up. But attack. I don't understand. And I said on my show, watch what you ask for, you just might get it. Remember we talked about, man, if Getsy does very well and turns Justin Field out and gets him to become an MVP candidate, he's probably gone. Mm-hmm. But guess what? Nobody can want his ass for a head coach. You don't got to worry about him. You don't got to worry about him leaving, which is watch what you ask for because you just might get it because he might not leave. And now we're stuck with this horrendous play calling. So I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get. You have one of the best weapons in football. You added a stud number 1 receiver. You added a stud number 2 receiver in Chase Claypool. Throw him the God-blessed ball.
Right.
After a turnover, it's called sudden change. We would call it when I was in college. Sudden change. You go for the home run right then and there. First play. Nope. Run. What? And if you're going to run the ball, get a counter going. Get Justin in there. Get Justin involved in that run. But I say go for it. Throw the ball. Let him loose, man. Let him rip it and grip it. I don't know about this Getsy dude.
Yeah. Well, and so I think, it's not just Getsy, but at a certain point, we have to start looking at his boss, Eberflus, as well, because he's the one who brought him in.
Mm-hmm.
It's and I get it that it takes a while for coaching staffs to gel and players to gel, but it don't take this long. They had a full season together.
Yes, they did.
Absolute full off season.
Yep.
Full off season. So the strategy and the philosophy is the part that we shouldn't even be discussing. We should all know as spectators, okay, this is the Bears, this is what they do. This is what they do. It's like
what you're saying, Jason? You know what you're saying? You're saying they don't have an identity. And that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
Because you know what the Kansas City Chiefs identity is?
Yep.
Patrick Mahomes is going to throw it all over the field. You know what the Tennessee Titans identity is? Derrick Henry all up and down that ass.
Yep.
Okay? You know their identity.
The Dolphins going to throw the ball like crazy.
They're throw it.
The Patriots, Belichick going to throw some crazy defense at your ass. And you know who you're playing. You know what they're going to do. It's not a secret. So, but with the Bears, if you ask me right now, if you went to a Bears fans, people who watch this team all the time, you say, hey, what does your team do? That's exactly the answer you're going to get.
Well, they throw sometimes, they try to do this and they try to do that and they try. there's nothing they hang their hat on. I'm telling you.
Armando, what does your team do? You're watching right now. You chiming. Armando, what do the Bears do? What's their philosophy? Nobody knows.
Nope. Like, you have to understand that, what Matt Nagy said, didn't follow through on it. When he said, we get off the bus running.
Yeah.
That's what you need. Everybody's got to know. They got a two-headed monster, three-headed when Deontay Foreman gets healthy. We got a three-headed monster, and these big boys are coming downhill.
Yeah.
These hogs are going downhill, and we got these stud running backs right behind them.
Armando answered my question.
That's it. And I can't be there. Mom has another doctor's appointment on Thursday. I'm like, oh, this is when I set up. Because I wanted to go Thursday and ask them, like, what is the identity? What is your identity? Because if you can't answer that, man. If you can't answer that, that's it. That's a scathing indictment of what a poor offensive coordinator you are.
And you know what's scary about that, Sean? Because I think, back during my coaching days when I coach, I'll use that example when I coach basketball, when I coached high school girls basketball, or when I coached in the church league. And the other coaches would say, man, you run a nice defensive scheme. They knew what I was going to run. They knew I was going to run a 2-2-1 full court press. And when I got in the half court, I flipped it to kind of like a 3-2 half court trap and press, or I do 1-3-1 zone trap and press in half court. I was going to force your ball handlers to make quick decisions with passes because I had a very quick team. I had bigs who were very, very quick and who could get the steal if you try to throw over the press. I had really quick guards who, once they get the ball, if they're out on the break. That was our philosophy. Now, we're going to play our game. I'm not going to pack in a 2-3 zone because I ain't got the personnel to run that. So we know what the personnel is. What is the philosophy and what are your schemes to fit your philosophy? I think if anything, more than anything else, forget the win and loss next week, regardless if they win or lose. I don't think people care about that because you're kind of expecting to lose. I think what the fans want to see is, who are we?
Yeah.
What are we going to be for the rest of this season? What are you trying to instill in us going forward that's going to make us believe we're going to become a playoff team, championship contending team in the next 1 to 2 years? That's what the fans want to see. Right now, it's mass chaos because nobody can sit down and explain. Nobody on the Bears can sit down and explain what they're doing and what they're trying to do, and they certainly are not doing it. It's just like they're making it up as they go, and that is just inexcusable. And I think the screen call inside your own 10-yard line late in the game, I said this with some of the decisions that the White Sox were making, it was a fireable offense to me. I think
now,
a fireable offense.
Now, Eberflus was right. If it hits, it goes.
Yeah.
But they didn't count. They didn't count on the twist. But you can't count. Like, you have to understand who your defensive. I mean, that's Todd Bowles. I know he's the head coach, but his defense is active. His defense. You're in the shadow of your own goal line. You don't think he's going to put pressure on you. You don't think he's going to run games on you, twists and stunts, and that's what it was. It was a stunt. It was a TE stunt. And he, as I said, he came around. He paused for a second to let the tackle head out. He came around, and as he's coming around, he sees the linemen let their assignments go, and he's like, "Oh snap! I think I saw this 12 times earlier." Beautiful play, but if he doesn't, if it's a regular rush, it would have been a good call. You're right. I'm not taking that chance. I'm not taking that chance with the in the shadow of my own goal line.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not. I get it, but no. You have DJ Moore. You have Chase Claypool. Where the hell was Cole Kmet?
Cole Kmet. Yeah.
Robert Tonyan. Where are those guys? You have other guys. Now, if you want to do it from the 20, okay.
Right.
Now, and I get it. Big risk, big reward. No risk, no risk, no biscuit.
Right.
Well, guess what? No biscuit. I get the call, and you're saying I'm taking a huge risk here, But if we hit it, it's going to be big rewards. But if we don't, I still wouldn't have made that call. Not at that particular point.
No way I'm calling that. No way I'm calling that.
And that's 2 plays in a row. Once they saw it, and then there's a penalty, and then you run it again.
Yeah, it's just incompetence. It was a fireable offense. I'm serious. I would have fired him that day. I really would have. I was like, man, whoever's the next man up on the coaching staff coming up, because we ain't doing this. So, because here's my thing. When I saw that, I was like, okay, you backed up. There's plenty of time left for you to get the ball down the field and in position to win the game. I was like, okay, get yourself some breathing room so that if you're going to call a fast play on that situation, I'm calling a rollout. Personally, I'd have rolled him out of the pocket and did it. Mm-hmm. 2, I would not have done. 1, call that screen play. 2nd, I would not have run a sweep. Like, that's another dumb play to call.
Yeah, because you're going lateral.
I mean, this is basic Madden stuff, to be honest. You know what? Let me run the ball up the middle. Let me give it to my fullback. Let me get like some breathing room here. Let me get 2 or 3 extra yards here. If you have a fullback, even though most people don't have them no more, get the ball to fullback and get you a couple. Do anything to create some space. A screen pass, a middle screen is not the way to go. An outside run is not the way to go on that. I just really question what the philosophy is and who this team is all about. And I think, the only positive thing we could kind of say about yesterday's game was the special teams. Santos hit a big field goal for you.
51 yards, I want to say.
You blocked one of their field goals.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, the special teams was probably the best part of the Bears game yesterday.
Yeah.
And I thought the defense, given the conditions they were playing under, did a decent enough job. Given their circumstances on the lack of personnel they had due to injury, given the conditions of the heat and the humidity. And, and I tell people this, look, I never played organized football, but most of my friends did. They all tell me, you've told me, look, man, the perfect temperature, kind of about 60 degrees. Some people like it in the 50s.
60 to 75 degrees is perfect. Right.
If you start getting above 75, you start getting a little, hot.
The big boys start breathing a little heavy. Yeah. People with asthma got to start getting their little inhaler coming off the field.
And, they like in the 80s, it start getting real, real bad. If it's in the 90s and the humidity is at 96, it's almost unbearable.
Yeah.
It's almost unbearable. So I couldn't fault the defense too much as they were out there. I thought they, did, kind of a lot to keep them in the game. But I was just really disappointed. You got any video of the game this week? Or you got a photo? Anything you want to share? What up, Vernon?
No, there were some, but we didn't actually, yeah, hold on. Let's do this. We can do this. I will. We have here's some of the stuff. Watch this. Peep this.
Play action on the first play. Fields well protected and a strike for DJ Moore. They don't waste any time today. Moore's got a big game. Pressure coming. Fields beats it to the sideline. DJ Moore down the sideline. 1st and goal. A bootleg. Fields looking for the corner. He's got it. And the Bears have an opening drive touchdown. Goffin had a chip shot on the first drive from 40 yards here. It's blocked. Special teams play for the Bears. All the way back to midfield.
Mid 50 yards you got to go. And you don't go deep. That's a perfect. It's not too close, not to 20 where you really can't stretch the defense, where they can use the end zone as an extra defender. Okay. You could send routes. You could send someone up the middle. You can send one on the left side, one up the middle, one to the right side. They're in a cover 2. Someone is in conflict, and you just got to pick it. Here's a couple more.
Out of the eye. A toss to Johnson. Head of steam, and Roshan Johnson's into the secondary. Into Bucs territory. 3rd down and 4. Fields given time. Coverage tight. Somebody breaks loose, and it's Cole Kmet again. Fields dumps it off. Tight end screen. Cole Kmet. 1st down. A little bit of a spark. Blitzer comes, trying to beat it with a screen. Herbert scoots to the outside. Khalil Herbert crosses the 40. Jamel Dean.
How many possessions you have left in the game?
Fields well protected. Zips one to a wide open DJ Moore. A rare downfield toss from Fields. Bucks bringing an extra man. Fields. Moore is loose. DJ.
Now, you know it's bad when the announcer is saying a rare
downfield.
That's how you know it's bad. When the he threw the ball down the field. Well, and you also saw, our successful screenplays in there. And let's bring that up. If you keep running those, eventually the other team is going to make their adjustments. Hey, man, they're killing us on these screens. Oh, okay. So let's play for the screen. It's like when they're going to make adjustments during the game. And I just can't believe it. Now, the other comment, yes, and I know I'll put you on right now, Bernie, because, the Bears should ban the Orange Crush jerseys. Yes.
Yeah, I don't like those. I hate those jerseys. Those are the stupidest thing. The only good thing I ever saw was Nathan Vasher run back that kick. All right. That 100 and something yard kick where he's like struggled to get in the end zone. He just finally dove. That's the only good thing I ever saw. They need to change their color rush uniforms. Need to be the all white helmet, white top, white pants. You know what I mean? And then you have the blue leggings if you want, or the orange leggings if you want. Either one. They got to get rid of those stupid, ugly ass jerseys and ugly ass helmets. Not a big fan of it. Now, if you put the bear head on it, now hold on, player. Hold on, player. Hold on, player. Yes. Hold on, player.
So I would like some adjustments to the uniforms. I'm kind of with you guys. I don't like the orange. It reminds me too much of the University of Illinois. And I think the bottom line is that they're not successful in them. I think that's the main problem people have with is that they always lose when they wear the pumpkin uniform. Yes, the pumpkin. That's right, Patty. You call it a pumpkin uniform. Nobody likes it. I think because they lose. I think if they were winning in them, then people would be like, okay, we'd be more forgiving. But they just, and in other uniform news, and we'll talk about this in 2 weeks because hockey season is going to break out. The Blackhawks announced, or they didn't announce it, but there's confirmed reports from sources I trust. The Blackhawks are going to bring back the alternate black sweaters.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
nice. Don't
that's
tell
nice.
My wife. She's like, you got every damn Blackhawks jersey.
Yes. I gotta do it for the team, oh come on. It's for the team.
I Connor Bedard now, Sharice. Come on.
You know how good this kid can. Well, speaking of Connor Bedard, did you see that Joker?
Yeah, he's lighting it up and
a hat trick his first game.
And he followed that up with 2 the next one. So,
a Hattie his first game? Like, excuse me, I am Mickey Ficky here. Just so you know, I am here.
He is special. And again, I don't care what Phil Thompson of the Tribune said. We cheated and got the first round overall pick. I don't care what Phil says. That is my guy. There's no way in hell the Blackhawks should have got the number 1 overall pick. But we did some Mayor Daleyism, Chicago politics stuff, and got the overall number 1 pick. God bless him.
Hey, you know how we do? We vote early and often here in Chicago.
Yes, we do. Yes, we did see that. So we'll talk hockey in 2 weeks with I think we're getting our guy from the Athletic, Mark
Lazarus.
Mark Lazarus. I think we're getting Mark to come on in a couple of weeks. Blackhawks first preseason puck drops. I think next week they play St. Louis, but we'll be talking some hockey because we got actually something to look forward to. We got
man, that ain't he ain't no joke.
No, he ain't.
That kid is as nicey.
Yes, he is.
You look at him and you're like, okay, I see why he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
Like, there won't be another kid like him for another 5 or 6 years.
That's
right.
You
get another generational talent. But he's a special cat, man. He's a special dude, a special kid.
Yes, he is. Gonna be fun. All right, let's talk a couple more minutes in this abbreviated edition of What's Up, Cuz. Since I got Sean here talking football, hey man, we got to talk about this, man, because it is clearly at this point the absolute hottest story in college sports. Coach Prime and them Buffaloes. Do it again. Do it again. Sunshade and hat controversy. All sorts of drama going on leading up to this game. And if you fell asleep like I did,
Man, I was nodding off. I was like, just stay up. I actually did like 15, 20 push-ups just to stay awake.
wow, I couldn't do it. I could not do it.
I was
And
not, Jay. I
was like, oh man. I was up, halftime hit. I was like, okay, I got 15 minutes.
Why don't they start at 9 o'clock, damn it? You know the whole country wants to see him.
Well, and they went in on ESPN and them about that too, because people were like, why don't y'all just move it to 7? He had requested to move it to 7, and they just had to show us Tennessee and Florida, was it? Who was they showing?
Big upset. Big upset.
Yeah. And then everybody's like, man, we want to see Coach Prime. Well, Coach Prime did not disappoint because he never does. His team doesn't disappoint. The fourth quarter was just absolutely insane.
Man.
Just go back and watch the fourth quarter. But there was some stuff that happened in that game. And I know it's rivalry games. You played in rivalry games with St. Rita, Mount Carmel. We won't discuss what happened.
Don't mention that other school. No, don't. I'll end the show right now, damn it. I'll end the show right now.
Lindblom and Harper, Lindblom and Inglewood. I've been in rivalry games. I know stuff happens. We battle. It don't matter if it's football or gymnastics or tennis. If it's going to be a rivalry, it's going to be a rivalry. Some things going to get said, some things going to happen. But in the first half, the play by number 11 of Colorado State, when he basically did the Charles Martin on Jim McMahon and hit Travis like 5 seconds after the play was over and knocks the kid out the game. I was very disappointed in that officiating crew that they didn't eject him from that, because I just felt that was too egregious, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
It was a cheap shot. Nothing more, nothing less. He lacerated his kidney, so he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. And you know what? You know how sometimes how we do. He got death threats. The kid and his family got death threats already. It's unfortunate. And believe me, you talked about it. I played in rivalry games. All right, at every level. Is not cheap shot. Not cheap. Vernon, you better watch your mouth. Don't you blaspheme on here. But there's no place in it for that cheap shot. Because I would have been, and listen, I know I'm wrong for saying this. I admit it. All right. But I would have had somebody take his knees out.
I'd have hurt his ass.
I would have had somebody take his knees out. Yeah. Like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Right. Like, and the bad part is sometimes you have to stoop to somebody's level to get your point across.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I never, my playing days, I never started shit. All right. People talk stuff. People spit in my face like two times, spit in my face. The only time I got nasty was when a dude raked me under, we were at the bottom, it was at Hanson, under the bottom of the pile.
At Hanson, that hard-ass artificial
and the dude raked my face, stuck his hand under my face mask. I was like, oh, and I was like, you son of a. So about next quarter or something, same thing. He stuck his hand and I caught his finger. And I was like, oh, I bit it. I swear to God, Jason, I was trying to bite that son of a bitch off. I swear. And he screamed like a stuck pig. He screamed like a stuck pig. He's biting me. He's biting me. And I let go. I said, don't you do that shit again. He didn't do that again. I tell you, Jay, it's crazy underneath that pile, dude.
Oh my God, that's a good story right there. That is a good story, yes. And I agree with you. So, playing baseball, I was generally usually the smallest guy on my team, but I was playing second base. So, when you're playing second base, people are going to try to come in and take you out on double plays. It's part of the sport. I didn't have a problem with it. I never got caught because I was so quick. My feet was so quick around the base. I knew how to turn it, tap and slide, go over it, use the base to protect you with your left foot, push back. I knew all the techniques to protect myself. But once I got caught, because I had already crossed over the bag. It was way on the short side.
Toward the third base side, yeah.
And the dude came in and literally, with his cleats up high, hit me like in my thigh. And I was like, what the motherfuck, man? Are you serious? And I hit him in the face with my glove and tried to start hitting him. He kicks me, but by then my shortstop had already come in and started beating him down. It was like there was all sorts of chaos and people. It's a baseball fight, you know how that goes. Everybody comes out, pushes and shoves, and my coach comes at me and says, "Palmer, why'd you start a fight?" I'm like, "Dude, are you serious? Did you see what he did?" He's like, "Yeah, but you hit him with a glove. I don't need you to get kicked out of the game. Let the big first baseman do something to him. You're the smallest dude out here." I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't know nothing about that, dog. I know I got spiked in my thigh." But yeah, I just thought that this was just the most egregious thing. And I got a photo of it. And I actually thought, which I thought was kind of funny, I actually thought the coach was going to hurt this dude.
Yeah, because
it's the coach right there.
Yeah, and he knows. Well, you know what? It was on Colorado's sideline. It's just, and here's the issue. Like, I didn't see the head coach from Colorado State say anything to him. I didn't see him talk to him. Like, you don't got to yell at him and put him on Front Street, but you got to talk to him. Say, hey, listen, you know what? Let's not do that. Don't do that again. All right, let's not do that again.
Right.
We'll beat him on the field. We'll beat him. You know, if you knock him out in a regulation legal play, more power to you. We don't do that here. Okay, so you condone it or you coach it. I think that's what Shannon said this morning. You condone it or you coach it. So you condone it because you didn't say anything to the kid. Okay, now if you said it after the game is not good enough. After the game's not good enough. You walk over to the side and you say, hey, listen, you got 15 yards. First of all, you screwed us. You gave them an extra 15 yards. Secondly, any questionable call with you now in another personal foul, you're going to get kicked out, which really screws us up because we need you in there. And thirdly, we don't play like that. We don't play like that. All right. If you want to punch him, hit him in the mouth legally in a legal play between the whistles, by all means, go do it. Not like that.
Yeah. I thought that was very egregious. And again, I was disappointed. I'm going to show the picture again. I was disappointed in the officiating crew because it happened literally right in front of the side judge. I think, you see the side judge, field judge. So he literally saw what happened and he did throw a flag.
Yeah,
but
you see the flag.
Man,
yeah.
but I'm like, that's not enough. A personal foul on that is not enough, man. That was you did get somebody hurt. You know what I'm saying? That was ridiculous. You can't. So I've kicked out one player in my volleyball officiating career. I've been doing this 16 years. And volleyball is usually pretty chill. They get a little chirpy. You give a card, some discipline. I've kicked one player out in my very first year as a referee. And the only reason I kicked her out, I called the ball in. She thought it was out. She screamed at me at the top of her lungs. I gave her a red card, which is a penalty point. The other team gets extra point.
Okay.
She then went to the sideline, Sean, because her coach started screaming at her like, what are you doing? You just cost us an additional point and the ball was in. Shut up. Don't yell at the ref. And this young lady reached back with all her power and punched her coach dead in the chest and knocked the coach into the bench. So at that point, yeah, I'm now definitely kicking you out of the match. You're out here committing crimes. So I kicked her out. The security guard happened to be just doing one of his passes through and saw her punch the coach. He jumped over the bench. And immediately
Freudian slip.
I know, right? He jumped over the bench, grabbed this young lady, and put her on the ground in handcuffs. Because she had literally assaulted this woman. This woman wasn't no spring chicken. She just assaulted this woman. And the security guard just grabbed her, put her in cuffs, walked her out. It's like, okay, now this is my first year as an official. And I'm like, what did I get myself into? Y'all told me volleyball was calm.
Let's chill.
Right. So, I mean, these things happen in sports, but I just think as an officiating crew, you have to respond to that. And I did not like that. However, the game itself, the fourth quarter, the back and forth, the play calling, it was college football. And I think what Deion is doing, the NCAA need to be promoting all his damn games. Whatever he's got on the schedule, they need to change it because now everybody is watching these games. And that is the significance, especially in football, more than any other sport, of getting you a big time coach?
You know, you have to. He's a marketing genius. All right, he's a marketing genius. You know the sunglass thing, that whole thing. He sold out. His company sold out. They sold out with his thing, and I'm telling you, this is coordinated, Jay. I'm telling you, this is coordinated because now the coach at Oregon, he said something about Dion. What have they won? It's I'm telling you that there has to be because they're talking and making it personal, and the ticket, the University of Colorado just surpassed Ohio State as the highest average ticket price. Ticket price to get in,
It's
$500.
It's 500. It's
$500 to
So,
get it.
and
And people are paying it.
and they're paying it in Colorado. Now, here's the thing. I told you, Lance's brother Nick, we all know Nick coaches at Arizona State. When I went to see cousin Nick in March, he said, you know, Colorado coming here this year. I was like, oh, hell yeah. It's October the 7th. It's my birthday weekend. I can bring, he's like, bring Sharice. I got the suite. He's Nick's assistant basketball coach. He's like, I'll get the suite for the Colorado game. So you see Dion, you and Sharice. I like, dude, we there. We there. You know I'm going, Sean. My 35th year class high school reunion for Luther South is on the same damn day. I was like, you're killing me. You're killing me.
It's only 35. It's not like it's 25 or 50. Who cares about 30, 35, 40, 45?
It's an insignificant number. It's not an
Yeah. Yeah. It's like your third year reunion. Like, we just graduated 3 years ago. No one cares. It's 35. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
You look like you're getting sick. You look like you're getting sick right about now for October 7th. You look.
If I look a little weary.
Yep.
And I got some points to use too on Delta too, so I can fly out there. But you know, I was like, man, I've already paid. I paid for a reunion now, so I'm kind of stuck.
Hey,
I wish we could flip it, but
chalk it up to the game, bro. But like, hey, have my money. I'm going to see prime time. I see you mugs anytime on the South Side, okay?
Right. But yeah, so you know what he's done is just amazing for that Colorado program. I think he's doing a lot for college football, and I'm really happy to see it. We had discussed it when he made that move here on the show. First, I was in my feelings a little bit that he was leaving Jackson State, but then when Lance explained it to me, like, Jason, he's going to a Power 5. We talk on this show all the time. And man, it's our identity. The Bears ain't got an identity. Well, we got one on What's Up, cuz. Lance says it all the time. Black and brown coaches don't get them opportunities at them Power 5 schools like that. He's like, and he's getting it coming from an HBCU. Not that he went to another mid-level D1. He's going from an HBCU to a Power 5. He was like, Jay, we got to support that, man. And first of all, he deserves it financially. His staff, Lance broke it down. So he's like, it's not just for Dion, because Dion got the money.
Yeah.
His staff, man.
That's what Dion said, yeah.
He was like, man, his staff ain't making that money at Jackson State. Like, this is going to change them dudes' lives, Jay. You got to understand that. So when Lance broke it down to me, I was like, okay, I get it. He was like, man, we got to support him. He's going to a Power 5. We don't get brothers in the Power 5. And he bringing a bunch of assistants with him. And he bringing his most talented players so that they can get better exposure and get to the next level. He's like, so we got to look at it in that aspect. And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right, cuz. And that really changed my tune to a lot of it. And I am very happy to see what was happening. I mean, look at all the celebrities they had.
You know what? It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood, and that's the great part. Hell, Wu-Tang was there. Wu-Tang was there opening the second week of the season, the home opener. Wu-Tang was in the house. It had the Wu-Tang logo and it said Colorado across the middle. Man, they were representing. The Rock was in the house yesterday. College Game Day was in the house.
Offset was Offset.
Offset was there. They had the Offset was there. Like, all the people there were just. It was something you just couldn't believe.
Well, I know who's next because now you get an A-list. So their next home game, you'll see Jay-Z, Beyonce. You'll see Spike Lee because Spike show up to anything black people do. Spike gonna be. You're gonna see Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jesse Jackson would be there, but he's in ill health now, so I don't think Reverend gonna make it out there. But you're getting ready to see that. You get ready to see all the A-list. Oprah going. Oprah, let's just be honest. She's going. Because first of all, she won an interview.
She got to stay relevant. She's got to stay, keep her face in the place.
Gail don't get this one. She ain't sending Gail on this one. So Oprah gonna be there. So I mean, you're gonna have all these people, and they've now become everybody's team. They're now the community's team. None of us ain't even been to Colorado, but we all are now Buffalo fans. So it's really good to see what he's done and what he's doing for these young men. And I'm just, for one, I'm very, very happy about that. So,
the 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, most people picked him to have 3 wins all season. Now he's got a tough stretch. He's got Oregon. He's got USC. Okay, if he pulls off one of these games, just one, the credibility level that he has, which is high already.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that transfer, it's gonna. You know what it's gonna look like? The Hillside Strangler. Coming in on 290. That's how it's gonna be the transfer portal. Everybody trying to get to Colorado. The Hillside Strangler. Everybody and their mom was
now. She hates that damn thing.
Everyone and their mom is gonna go get in that portal trying to get to Colorado because it's fun. All right. Weed is legal over there. So if everybody was and just keep it real. That's a very big selling point. Okay. And I've only been in the airport. I haven't hung out in Denver or anything like that or Boulder, but from everything and my friends have said, and you just look at the picture, look at the stadium, gorgeous in the mountains, gorgeous. So yeah, Colorado's going to be the place to be. And again, they pull off just one. All they got to do is get to a bowl, get to the mom and pop pizza shop bowl. And now he goes in the house saying, we went to a bowl game last year. We went to a bowl game. I want you to help us get to a bigger bowl. I want you to come help us get to the college football playoffs. What student athlete wouldn't want to play for him? All the fun they have, all the superstars that are there, all the national media coverage, all the NFL scouts that are there.
Yeah. Well, and I think you guys said it best on Smoke Fellas Saturday. Folks, if you didn't see the Smoke Fellas on Saturday, go back on the Sports Zone Chicago app or go on the Roku channel and check it out. The fellas made a great point. When the Colorado State coach started talking crap, they're like, that's all right, Deion going to win. And he probably going to take his best players next year. I was like, yeah, you ain't lying, because that wide receiver they got from Colorado State, that boy is nice.
Horton, yeah, he is. Yeah, if he got your eligibility, hey, Shador might be like, hey, homie, I like you on one side and Travis on the other.
Exactly.
Let's make it happen.
Oh my God. Just incredible. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up tonight's show. It was an abbreviated edition. Thanks for joining me, Sean. I'm not going to talk about your Chicago Cubs, Armando and Patty. I'm not going to talk about them getting swept by Arizona, and you're now technically not in the playoff hunt. The Cubs and Marlins are tied, got a tie record, but Marlins have the tiebreaker.
They're a half game back out of the second one. Half game back.
Cincinnati Reds are a half game back. They also got the tiebreaker over the Cubs. Yeah, y'all was feeling pretty good about a week ago. I told you the schedule about to get rough, but you can't be losing to Colorado, and you definitely can't be losing to the teams that you are competing with, like Arizona. So we'll be watching the Cubs over this next week, and we'll see where they are next week, as 2 more weeks left in the regular season for Major League Baseball. Also, the Diamond League wrapped up. The outdoor track and field season is now officially over. Sharika Jackson reclaims her title in the 100-meter final, and Sha'Carri Richardson finished 4th in that race. But Jackson really put it down. She's like, okay, you won the world championship. I got you. And she came back and ran the 100. Then she won the 200 as well. So she came back, and she's getting closer and closer to FloJo's record. So people are asking, why you keep pulling for the girl from Jamaica? Because she getting ready to get FloJo's record. I'll give her another year, because she's the one that's come closest to it. Now I would love to see that. She's a tremendous athlete. So we'll see what Sharika Jackson can do. Our girl Shamir Little again finished 2nd in the 400-meter hurdles to our good friend Femke Bol of the Netherlands, who, if she don't fall, you ain't winning. Bol asserted herself over the Diamond League Finals yesterday as well. So heard from Shamir, heard from Jonna Woodruff. Both of them said they are extremely tired and are going to sit their asses down so that they can prepare for the indoor track season, which will kick off in a couple of months. So we will keep you abreast on everything going on in the world of sports. Just tune in to the Sports Zone Chicago YouTube channel. Check us out on the app. Check us out on the Roku channel. Check out all of our shows and news for us as well. We have some news to announce. Sean, why don't you announce it? Because you know about it better than me. The reruns. We're in syndication on Sports Zone Chicago. This is live. You can check out the rerun show. When are we doing the shows again, Sean?
Yeah, we haven't settled on a date, but on all of them. So we got to sit down with you and Lance and see. But your show will probably be on tomorrow again. So on Mondays, it goes like this: Sean and Maya in the morning at 9. Okay. Second City Sports at 12:15, and you at 6. But before that, we'll have Sean and Maya in the morning at 4. So it'll be 9 a.m. to 11, Sean and Maya, 12:15 to 2:15, Second City Sports, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock, Sean and Maya in the morning again. Then 6 to 8 live, What's Up, Cuz? And then from 8 to 10, we'll have Second City Sports. We'll put you tomorrow, and Wednesday, same thing. It'll for Sean and Maya in the morning. I'll try and keep it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. My show on Friday, same thing in the afternoon, and then on the Smoke Fellows, we're going to try and get them on Saturday and Sunday because they do once a week. And the way the day falls, you can't put it on Tuesday because they're going to be talking about the previous week's sports. So we'll get that settled. But we're gonna have a lot more reruns of the show. So if you can't make it, if you're at work or whatever the situation may be, you'll be able to catch us in the evening or later in the day every day. So we'll have a couple of shows all day, and we're actually in the process of adding a couple more shows to Sports Zone Chicago. Now that football season is here, so we'll let you know when those things are finalized and once they are, when they're going to be on.
Well, there you go, folks. There you go. So, like I said, we've got more to come. We're doing a lot of good things here at Sports Zone Chicago under the leadership of Sean and Maya. And it's a lot of work to do this stuff, but we want to bring you all the exclusive content, the unique content, giving it to you from voices that you are familiar with. And, we got a different flavor. There's a lot of other entertainment options you can get out here for sports news, but we're giving it to you with a different type of flavor. And that's what we want to present to you. So just finally, I want to promote this. One of the reasons why Lance is not here tonight is we've got big news for our family coming up this weekend, and we want to invite all of you to join us this coming Saturday. This is something that the Irvin family has been working on for a very long time, and it's finally coming to fruition with the help of the new alderman out there in Chicago and Mayor Brandon Johnson. This coming Saturday, we are doing the honorary street sign dedication for my aunt and uncle, Mac
Wow.
and Louise Irvin. That is my co-host's mom and father, if you don't know. This coming Saturday, it's high noon, on the block where Lance grew up, 109th and Parnell Avenue, the city of Chicago, is now declaring that an honorary street sign dedication for Mac and Louise Irvin. The family is going to be out there, 109th and Parnell. It's going to be jam-packed with people. A lot of our former guests are going to be there. A lot of our future guests are going to be there, we know. So everyone come on out and join us. If you've never hung out with our family, you know it's going to be a party. I think we had the street shut down for a certain amount of time, but we also know the cops who are doing it. So there's never really a time frame on Irvin type party affairs. But come on out and join us as we help to celebrate the life of my aunt and uncle, Mac Irvin and Louise Irvin. And we'll all be out there for this street dedication sign. The weather looks like it's going to be really gorgeous on Saturday. So Saturday at noon on the 109th and Parnell, come by, check us out. A great honor for our family, and in advance, a special thanks to the city of Chicago. We will be talking about the street signing ceremony on next week's edition of What's Up, Cuz.
That's awesome. That is awesome, Jay. That is dope.
Yep.
That'll be a blast.
All right, everybody. So for my co-host, who's not here because he's taking care of family business, Lance Irvin, I am Jason Palmer, my producer, Sean Sierra. We thank you all for tuning in to Sports Zone Chicago. Check out all of our shows on the Sports Zone Chicago Network. I'm out. Peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, we will march on to victory. We will march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Is what